Hey YouTuber, I'm back again. Today I will do older machine because we have done all the new machines on Vulnhub, and since I have not seen any addition on the website, I will proceed and do older machine. So this time the older machine is Super Mario Host, and you know that this machine is kinda old. It's like since 1 year or less than 1 year, I don't know, but I'll proceed and do older machines this time, as long as there is no any new machine on Vulnhub. Once a new vulnerable machine is added on Vulnhub, we will proceed and do those on newer machines. Okay, so now here the Super Mario vulnerable machine here, Super Mario host. We have two objectives for this machine. First, we need to get root access, and then we need to get the password for all the users on the system. So basically we jump over here and scan the machine or discover the IP address using NetDiscover. The subnet is 1024. So I forgot to add NetDisk C, I guess. Great. So now here I have the IP address of the machine. I proceed to scan the machine using Nmap. SV for services, A for aggressive, P for ports. Seems to be down. Yeah, all the time I have typos in my writing, so never mind. So here we are scanning the machine to find all the open ports and the associated services that are running on those ports. Then we're gonna go ahead and enumerate those ports. Okay, so now we have here port 22 and it has SSH, and port 8180 and it has HTTP. So here, if you scan the machine in the first place, if you're trying to scan the machine the first time, you will not see the name of the host here. Okay, so you see the name of the host here because I have done this machine before, and I have added the host name of this machine to my host file. Okay, so let's go ahead, and if you open the main page of the web server on the port 8180, you will find the default page for the NGINX server. So now the first thing first when pen testing web servers is using directory buster to discover the hidden directories on the web server. So we will go ahead and open directory buster. Let's clear this. So as I used to do, let's type the IP address. Make sure to type the ports. Okay. Now we will use the word list, which is let's browse to the word list directory of directory buster user. If I'm correct, share. So directory buster is okay. So now word list here, and we will use not here. What's this? The word list that I used, I remember that it was on So let's go to the other directory. Okay, let's try this. Word list. So we will use this word list. Directory list 2.3 small.txt. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Nevertheless, because I will not run the directory buster, but I will show you what are the directories that you will get if you run the directory buster using the small 2.3 small.txt. If you click start, you will get, and remember to use plugin extension and remove the PHP here and click on run. Okay, so after running the directory buster and getting the results, I will show you the directories that you will have after running directory buster, which are the vhosts. Okay, now let's go to vhosts right now. So if you go to vhosts here, you will see an instructions and some information about the web server running on 8180. Okay, so it's saying that the server name is Mario Super Mario host local. Okay, the server admin email address and the directory indexing is mario.php. So definitely you will go ahead and grab this. Okay, you grab this. Okay, and go to your host file. So clear nano etc hosts. So at your host file, you will add the IP address of the machine along with the host name that you have found in the vhost file, vhost web page. Okay, so Control C, and let's go here and copy this over here. But this time I will remove vhost and click on enter. So here the main web page of the Mario game or Super Mario game. You can see here are the instructions for playing the game on the site, and you can see here a message. If you cannot see the message well, you can click on view page source and go down here. Here we see a message from Mario, or a welcome message. Okay, so if you go to Mario.php, which is the index of PHP page of the Mario, okay, and we all know that if you have played Mario before, if you do some research on the internet, you will find that the Mario has a brother, or the brother of the Mario that he's talking about, which is here, my tall brother. Where is this? Me and my tall brother. Okay, so here, brother of Mario, his name is Luigi. So if you put Luigi here, you will find a message here on directory Luigi, on the file luigi.php, and it says that both Luigi and Mario love Princess Peach. Okay, so Peach here is liked by both Mario and Luigi. So here you have three usernames: Peach, Luigi, and Mario. So if you go ahead and create a username file, Mario, for example, username, okay, and you put inside the file those usernames, because I did this before, I will show you the file which you need to do. We need to construct. What's the password file? No, username file consists of three usernames: Mario, Luigi his brother, Peach the princess, and here are the same repetition of the usernames but with capital letter for the first letter. Okay, so you gotta make this file and the username file. Now, how to create the password file. You need the password file. So you create the password file by using join the record using the following command minus word list. Now the word list you need to make out, or when you need to make the password file, okay, you need to use the word list, which is Mario usernames, because you want to make a password file out of the username file to make it consistent. So desktop root desktop, and I will specify the username file, which will be used to create the Mario password file. So I will specify rules for mangling and stood out, then for example password, and then you will go ahead and hit enter. Okay, now I did this before. I will show you the password file. The password file is here, and it contains all of the mutations and possibilities that could be extracted from Mario, Luigi, Peach, and so on, using John the Ripper. Okay. Then let's go ahead and use Hydra to crack the SSH server. So L, the username, we'll pick up the username file, which is usernames. Now P capital for passwords, root, desktop, Mario, SSH, Mario 68, hit enter. Now the attacking phase got started, and you will wait for the Hydra to get the job done. So now I think that the Hydra is attacking right now and trying all the possible usernames and password and picking up the right pairs that we will use to get access to the SSH server. So apparently it's taking up time, but I wanted to show you the right pairs of username and password instead of just giving them out without trying using Hydra. So basically the right pairs of passwords are Luigi and Luigi1. Okay, so those passwords or those pairs will be found by Hydra after getting done from brute forcing. But nevertheless, we will pick out those pairs and we will not wait for the handler to finish. It's just to show you how to write the exact command and how to get the results. So basically I will go ahead and fire up my command line on our terminal. So SSH wiki at 192.168.1.13. Maybe got a problem here. So let's try using the host file or the host name. Say yes. The password is Luigi1. So you are waiting for the authentication process. Okay, so now we have access. Next thing we will do is, and here as you can see that if you type pwd to find the current working directory, it seems that there is something stuck here. I cannot type anything, but the cursor is blinking. Okay, let's close this. We authenticate again. And let's take the host name. Apparently there is fail to ban mechanism here in the server, that it doesn't allow connections after a set of timeout. So I think we need to switch to the IPv6 address instead of trying to hooking up with IPv4 address. Although I did this using the IPv4, I don't know the exact way or reason this happening right now, but this is definitely failed to ban. I cannot connect more than once to the virtual machine. So let's go ahead to metasploit. We will try to discover the IPv6 address used on the machine, because the IPv6 address, there is no fail to ban mechanism on IPv6 addresses, so we can connect as much as we want. So let's cancel Hydra right now, because the fail to ban is preventing the brute forcing. What the fuck is this? Okay. Now let's search for IPv6. we're gonna use IPv6 multicast ping to ping for the IPv6 address, or to identify the IPv6 address of the machine. Okay. So let's go a bit above. So you will use the module, auxiliary module IPv6 multicast ping. Okay. So now here use now show options, set interface EC0. Now let's type run. So we got here the IPv6 address shown here. Let's grab this address and scan using nmap. So other terminal here, or let me close this terminal first. Now nmap, let's scan for the ports to make sure that the IP address we have identified is the exact IP address or the IPv6 address for the machine. Okay. Oh, okay, we forgot something here. Nmap 6, so we type the IP address, the IPv6 address. So if we find the ports, the same ports, okay. So now here, as you can see, we found the same ports that we're running on the server, and those are the same ports that we have found when we run the nmap on the IPv4 address. So let's go ahead and run the Hydra again using this against this IP address. So root desktop Mario usernames P4 passwords Mario. So let's type the IP address and hit run. Illegal port definition. So here I don't know if there is a way to identify the IPv6 address on Hydra. Let's get help from Hydra. So basically here FTP for the IPv6 we need to use some command or option. Okay, so we need to set this option here in brackets as in the example here. Well, okay, so go back again to our command. So here we need to type -6, and then we need to specify the brackets here, square brackets. Okay, so let's see now what we will get. Apparently, I think that failed to connect. Weird. Okay, let me remove these brackets here. Okay. So let's specify 22. Okay, let me try to connect SSH using the passwords I used. Paste the IP address. So we need to specify something using the IPv6. So let's go here and see either IPv6. Or let's type command okay, so we specified -6 and we need to discover why it's refusing to connect. Okay. Well, this is the same example we have used, but there was no output. Okay, let me go back and try something different. Clear. Let's remove this and type. Yes, let's cancel. Could not connect to SSH. 22 failed to connect invalid argument. If I type 22 here, yes, I changed the IP address, I know, but I couldn't know the main reason why it doesn't connect to the server using the IPv6. Let's try the IPv4 back. And remove the -6 option. So let's try to connect now with the pairs of credentials. Wiki at wiki well, so now we are in the shell of the machine, but now I will leave this open, okay, to see other credentials that might work other than the credentials I have typed. So let's go back here and see what we got. So if you type pwd, it says it's forbidden command. So since it is forbidden command, there are other possible commands that could be forbidden. So we recognize that we are in a limited shell. Now to get out of a limited shell or to escape from a limited shell, there is a paper written by Sans Institute, and here you can see some methods that could be used to escape the limited shell. One of them is using the awk command. Okay, so let's copy this command here and go back to our limited shell, hit enter, and now we have a shell on unlimited shell on the machine. So let's type bin bash. Okay, so now we are in the machine, so let's hook around and see what we can do. So using uname -a, we can see this is the first thing we do during a pen testing or a CTF. So basically seeing the version of the Linux is crucial to your pen testing or while you're playing CTF. So basically here the version is 3.13 generic Ubuntu. So for this version there is a vulnerability published on Linux exploit database, which is overlays local privilege escalation. Now, how to identify those kind of vulnerabilities? Basically, we can grab the version, okay, here, and paste it on Google and you will find all the possible exploits. So let's copy this to show you how to find the exploit. Linux exploit, and here you can see the same page that we have in here. It has popped up here. So basically this is one way. Okay, the other way is using Linux exploit suggester. Okay, so Linux exploit suggester, you can use this tool to find possible exploits that on the machine. So basically, let's go ahead and download this exploit. But we will download this exploit on or inside the machine. So let's copy a link location and go back, cd to temp, and again. So here you can see the Hydra has discovered the same password that we typed a while ago. So let's post Hydra now and close it. It seems that our shell has stuck again. I don't know what the reason. It's doing this so frequently. So it seems that the connection has been timed out. Okay, no. So here, let's see the temp. Okay. Now you can download the exploit using wget command and pasting the URL here. Clicking on enter, you will download the file and and you will find the file in the temp directory, which is here. Okay. Now, after downloading the file, you will compile the file using GCC. Okay, not GTD, GCC. You will type the name of the file and then out 37292 to hit, and now you hit enter and you will have the final file version here. Okay, now I will move this back and don't forget to give permissions to the file 37292. Okay, and you hit enter, then run the file 37292 and it exploits the vulnerability on the system. Now type ID, you will find that you have now root access and you have accomplished the first step in finding the passwords for the machine or accomplishing the objective of the machine. Type in bash. Okay, now you are root on the machine. Now next you will find the flag. You have to find the flag. Go to root. There is a flag file here, which is flag.zip. You will transfer this file to your machine. How you can do this? There are many possible ways, among which is typing move or copy, let's say, flag.zip to www.html, no, var www.html, and then you hit enter to copy the file over the web server. Now you go to the download page or to the web server file, web server page, and type here flag.zip. Let's remove the host file, the host name, type the IP address instead. Okay, now you can download the file. Click on OK, and the file will be downloaded to your machine. Now, let's remove this command. Now the file is in my machine, which is here, and it is a zip file. In order to crack zip file or to decrypt the zip file, basically this file is encrypted. Once you click on open, now if you try to click on flag.txt, you will see that it requires a password. Okay, now to find the password, you need to run the following command using fcrack zip. Fcrack zip is a tool to crack zip files using a word list. Now specify the zip file, which is flag zip, and specify the word list. You're going to use rock you wordless to crack the password. User share wordless rock you txt. Hit enter and wait for the password to be cracked. Now the password is I love peach. Okay, so click on open. It asks for the password. The password is I love peach. I love peach. No, I love peach. Now you'll see a message here, congratulations message. It says that you have got root and you need to get all of the password of all the users on the machine. Now, so far, we have accomplished like 3/4 of this challenge. If you go to our notes here, I have noted that we have SSH passwords and we have the flag password, which is I love peach. Now, next thing we need to know is find other password on the system. Basically, there are two possible ways. If you run pc ps aux, you will find that there is another server running inside the machine. Now the server is the server, I think it's over here. You will find another instance running on the machine. Apparently it's not running, or yeah, there is a cron job here, and maybe it has stopped. Yeah, it's here. So here you can see there's a machine running inside this machine. Okay, and this machine, it might have an IP address. So if you type ifconfig, you will see that we have here another interface, okay, running on another IP address, which is 192.168.122.1, which is different than the IP address of the machine. Okay, now here, as you can see, there is another machine or other server running on the port 192.168.122.1. How can we enumerate this server? Basically, we need to use Metasploit in order to pivot around the network, but this is going to take so much time. Instead, there is a shortcut to get the second flag and to get the password for the other usernames. Basically, you go to root file or the hidden file, which is /point. Now click on or type lcla. There is a backup file here. Okay, you will go to this backup file, to the back, and see the users, list files, cd wiki, and here we have a message. Let's see what the message has for us. Now the message is saying that we have been messing around, blah blah blah, and there is a word, you naughty boy. Now here it's highlighting the word war and naughty boy. So, and we have another file, which is idrsa and idrsa pub. Let's cat the file idrsa. You will see here that the public file has a username, which is worldwiki@worldwiki. Okay, now this might be the same username for the same machine running inside the Super Mario host, which is worldwiki. Now this user might be a possible user on the SSH. Let's try to use this user and try to log in using the same password. SSH or wiki 9168. Okay, let's set the same password. let's copy the password here. Let's type war. Apparently we need to wait. So permission denied. So we need to find another password. Well, so let's go back here. If we try to get the IDRSA and IDRSA pub, log in with those public and private key, we might have a chance, but the hint is saying that there is something around the word war. So the combinations of WorldWiki and WorldWiki should work. And let's see if we can. Okay, let's try the host file, the host name. Okay, and let's grab the host name from here. Super. Okay, let's take the password from here, copy the password. If we try the IP address of the WorldWiki machine, we might have a chance. Okay, let me copy the files over here. Okay, so let's copy the files, ID, RSA to bar, and let's go back to our browser and download the RSA file. Okay, let's try to load it inside the machine instead of outside. So minus I, ID, RSA. Type yes. Apparently there is something wrong with this machine, I don't know. So this time so SSH minus I. This time let's change to the other machine. Could not resolve host name or name or service. Okay, from outside. No, cancel. So this time put the password is the same. And again permission is denied. Well, let's go back. Get the message again. There is a word and you are not a boy, but so here let's try to sue to world wiki. No entry for user world wiki. Cat ID. So here we have world wiki at world wiki. Okay, let's try this IP address instead. World wiki at 127.0.1.1. Click on yes. the password is war, enter, save. The thing is, I have tried this before and I don't have any clue why it's giving permission denied. It doesn't even ask for the password of the private key file. So if I type PCAUX, PSAUX, and I can see that there is a machine running, which is WorldWiki here. Now let's try again to log in to this machine. I don't think this is gonna work because, yeah, it's not gonna work because WorldWiki is not listed as it's not listed in the host file. So instead of trying this path, let's see what we have in the password file. So here in the etc shadow file, we have the passwords unshadowed for the Mario username and for Luigi. So we can crack those passwords, but we are already in root, so we need to find the password for Luigi and for Mario. So previously in my node file, we have seen that there is a password which is I love Peach. So let's go ahead and try this password for Mario and for Luigi. So Luigi, we have his password which is I love Peach. Let's try for Mario. So Mario. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this password here, the hash file. So the hash here, if you grab this hash and go to my desktop here, so desktop with cd root, Mario txt. So you will paste this password here, click on save the hash, sorry, and then you will go to John the Ripper to crack the password. Of course, you can use word list, which is rocku.txt. Then you will specify the file, which is Mario Pass, and you'll hit enter. Now this may take time, but at last you will find that the password for the user file, which is Mario I love Peach, for Luigi is I love Peach. Now we still have the World Luigi username, and apparently I have the machine stuck at some point because I could not be able to log in from inside the root. I love Peach. Well, let's go to temp again. And run our exploit to get root back. Bin bash all clear. Okay, so here if we go back to cd and go back to backup file, cd users, cd wiki. So from here, if we cut the message again saying that there is highlight on war and naughty boy, okay, and if we cut the file id rsa.pub saying that the username is worldwiki and the password might be worldwiki based on the hint here, okay, but when trying to log in using the id rsa and using the worldwiki username at localhost or 192, let's say 192.168, also it's the same thing, but so type war wiki and it says permission denied, apparently for a reason I don't know, because this has been done before, but this might be stuck at some point. So let me go back to cd var and I have defined id rsa, so let's set the permission for id rsa. So in order to be able to download this file to my machine, 192.168, and here so let's take this file in the terminal here on my desktop, nano, so nano id rsa, so let's set the permission for this file to be 600. Now let's try to log in using this file or this key using war wiki 2. So the passphrase for id rsa based on the hint is war wiki, again war, so apparently the passphrase worked for the key file, but it doesn't work for the host. That's why the thing that I couldn't figure out why. So let's type the password again. Okay, so let's see if we can type if we grab the file, the name hosting from here, so war so apparently we have something wrong here, because the password works for the private file or the private key, but no luck with user. So I'm thinking of closing this up, as we got the root and we got the passwords for the other usernames, and we already got the password for the user world wiki, but for some reason there is something stuck. I don't know what it is. uh, let's give it without using the RSA file or wiki. Or okay, so I'm sure that something is stuck on the machine. On nevertheless, we have the root and we have the password for other users, and make sure to try the same password WorldWiki at your machine, and definitely it's gonna work if you are trying the machine for the first time. So try the WorldWiki username and the password is WorldWiki, and you will get access to the SSH interface for this username. Okay, so that's it for this machine, and see you later.